Farmer Dre back at it. Folks, I am out here in our pumpkin patch, and the well guys have officially finished their job, and we have water running at 40 gallons a minute out of the ground. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the whole pump system here, the irrigation. We are currently fertilizing and watering, and it's gonna be a fun day here on the farm. It's a beautiful, crisp morning for August. It was 61 degrees this morning, so I'll take this over 97 and humid any day of the week. The casing goes down 80 feet until they hit shale, and that's the stuff that you see here on the ground that they pulled out. They ended up drilling 600 feet down in the ground, and they stopped drilling at 600 feet just because there's so much water pressure coming up. The hammerhead on the drill end, the hammer quit working because there's so much pressure. And my well guy said that's the first time that has ever happened to him, where he couldn't go down any further just because so much water pressure was coming up. So they did hit water at 120 feet, but the reason why they drilled so deep is because we are pumping a lot of water. And this is an open discharge well, meaning there's no pressure tanks, there's no anything. It's just a simple pipe coming out of the ground and running to the field, and we just turn on the pump with the breaker. So they went ahead and dropped the pump down 300 feet. So we are pumping 40 gallons a minute at the pump's 300 feet down, and there's plenty of water here. So last night I came here with Isaac and I built a fertilizer injector for this well here. So we are currently feeding the pumpkins the same fertilizer we use for our tomatoes, which is the High Cal Mag 12-5-19 fertilizer there. Putting 4 bags per every 25 rows here, and the plants are looking good. They're growing. We just got to give them a little bit of go-go juice, a little fertilizer to go ahead and start setting on fruit. We open up for our fall season on Labor Day weekend, but we don't get big and heavy into the pumpkin harvest until later in the month of September. So we still got 50-60 days until we need these pumpkins to start coming out real good. So we are, it's not the most ideal situation, but we were making it work. So yeah, this is the system right here. We got the well coming out of the ground here, 2-inch pipe. This is a bleeder valve just in case it creates too much pressure. Right here we are measuring the PSI of the pump. So pump needs to run. The pump needs to have a minimum of 25 PSI to run on it with an open discharge well. So that valve controls the pressure of the pump. So we're currently running 40 PSI, and then the injector. So we're running 40 PSI on our blue hose, and by the time it gets out to the field, it's about 20 PSI on the main header. And if you measure the PSI on the drip case, about 12 to 15 PSI on the actual drip. And of course, when I mass the injector here, water's flowing through here. We close this valve, forces water to come through here, and this siphons up the fertilizer through here and injects it back to the main line, and it's running all the way down. This is probably the simplest way you can irrigate and run a well without adding pressure tanks, without having too much trouble on that end. It's a very simple and very cost-effective well just for irrigation. The only downside to this well is every time that breaker's on, you're pumping 40 gallons a minute out of the ground. So you're not able to water 1 or 2 rows. You have to water 2 or 3 acres at a time. So that's one of the downfalls to this system. But here on this side of the farm, across the street from the main farm, we're always going to have lots of plastic, lots of drip. So for us, this well makes sense. Across the street on the strawberry irrigation well, where we have all the flowers and the strawberries, we have the pressure tanks, and it's a continuous well. So the pressure tanks allow the water that pump to kick on and off. So we have a hydrant out there. We're able to water less than an acre, because those pressure tanks fill up and the pump turns off and when it empties out. So you guys get the point there. But with this well, it is an open discharge. So every single time the breaker is on, we're pumping 40 gallons a minute. Alrighty, folks, it's been a couple of days. This well has run non-stop since we got it going with this whole field, about 5 acres. This field in the back section is all irrigated. It's been running for 12 hours. Every 21 rows, 25 rows, been running for 12 hours. So like I said, it's our first time irrigating this crop here. So we got to let it soak in the ground, and we're currently also fertilizing. So for now, we're just putting calcium nitrate, and of course we have some the high CalMac fertilizer I've been using for the tomatoes as well. So putting on a lot of nitrogen and a lot of potassium and phosphorus, just so that the plants can go ahead and start putting it in gear and start blooming. So we're going to go ahead and already put 2 bags in the barrel there. We're going to go ahead and unload all these and bring some more fertilizer out here. Let me get my drill with the paint mixer or mud mixer and go ahead and start mixing this in. And then we will start injecting. So it is starting to be really dry here in Missouri. We haven't had rain in 2 weeks, actually 2.5 weeks now, and it's just powdery as can be, dry as can be. So that is no good for growing stuff. I mean, it's good from the disease pressure portion, but it's not good because we got to run all this water and stuff, even across the street on all the crops, all the flowers and the corn maze and everything else out there. So, but yeah, now that we got the well here on this farm, it doesn't matter. It can be dry as can be, but we're irrigating and fertilizing and making sure it is going to be great for the coming season. Go ahead and put this hose in here to get a piece of metal, put on the end of the sink up there on the bottom, and then you go ahead and just turn it on, turn this valve on, and then it's going to start injecting here. So that is perfect. Now we are running water. I'm putting the pressure on this, so I'm forcing it to go through here, siphon up and go through there. So it is running some calcium nitrate on these plants. We are irrigating this back section right there behind those woods. So it is looking great. Alrighty, folks, it is the next morning. Isaac and I are out here in the pumpkin patch. We finished watering every single section of pumpkins here, and now we are setting up our zones for fertilizing. We were continuously running fertilizer whenever we were running it, but whenever we were running the water, all the headers had a pressure on them, and each individual row on these inserts that go from the header to the drip tape have each valve. So we were just coming out here turning on 21 or 28 valves and doing that, but bending over and turning on all the valves on and off is kind of a pain, especially when you have over 100 rows out here. Might sound lazy, but we're gonna work smarter and not harder. So we're out here setting up different sections. So we're gonna do three sections there, 3 sections here, and you guys get the point, 3 and 3, running on different valves. And I'll show you guys, like right here, there's 22 rows on this section right here. We also got a row of cantaloupes out here, but so we're going to turn on all the valves here. And the whole idea is we put this big old ball valve, a 2-inch ball valve there with a T. So this line's always gonna have pressure on it. But now when we want to run water or fertilizer on this section, we just turn on this valve. We're doing that section and turn off all those back there. Whenever we want to run fertilizer back there, we turn off this valve, shut this whole section off here, and then we adjust our manifold out here, whatever section we want, and that's how we're going to do it. So Pretty simple, but gonna make our life a whole lot easier, especially when we're gonna be short-handed and run low on time. We'll just plug and go, turn on the big valves, the 2-inch valves. So all we need is a bunch of T's and a bunch of valves and everything. We went ahead and picked everything up last night, and now we are getting everything rolling. Guys, we need to put a valve right there, right next to that T. Leave that one there for that section. Put a T right here, T in that valve, and then we're going to attach the T off for that last section over there. So here, go ahead and cut that and put this valve there. There you go. And then we got to cut 6 inches out of it. Because look. I got you. So we'll turn off that valve. And we want to irrigate that section. Here, let me get you some hose clamps. Tee it off, go that way. Tee it off, go that way, and that's it. I need to connect the T to this. Put a big ball valve on there. You want to tighten those?
Cut the other one.
We'll go ahead and, well, how long is that?
That's perfect length. Or pull a little more.
So you might be asking yourself, what's the difference between this blue lay flat and the tubing? So the blue lay flat is meant for higher pressure. It can take up to 70 PSI. And on the strawberries, we only use the blue because we run a lot of pressure on our strawberries. Because in the spring season, we try to get as much pressure and as much fertilizer out to the strawberries as fast as possible. So I've had this blue lay flat really swell up, really like almost get to 2.5 inches. And that's not good because then it, you know, anyways, but it does a lot more pressure. And this blue stuff, I mean the black orchard tubing, that's what it is, black tubing. This stuff is meant for low pressure. So it's only meant for about 20 PSI. This black stuff does not expand. So if you put more than 20 PSI on there, it's just gonna, whoever has the weakest point on the link here, if it has a little crack or a sliver, like right here where it's buckling a little bit from the packaging, that's just gonna crack open if you have more than 20 PSI on there. So it's kind of nice, especially whenever you're running the black orchard tubing for all your rows, because you know that if you get more pressure than that, it doesn't expand and it doesn't leak at all those connectors where those little valves are for all the rows. But you can't run a lot of pressure or a lot of water. That's only the downside. But with drip system, it's a low pressure system. On drip tape, it only takes 12 PSI to run the entire field or the entire acreage or whatever you have. So 12 PSI on drip, 20 PSI on black tubing, and 70 PSI on the blue lay flat. A blue lay flat, we use it to haul, you know, whenever you got a long stretch of, you know, 500-600 feet of water you got to pull. We just run that lay flat from the main well to here, and then we transition to orchard tubing. Same size, same diameter, but it's made out of different material. And the black tubing, I call it orchard tubing because that's what we know it as. Because in the orchards, whenever we run drip tape on the orchards, the drip tape with the emitters is made out of the same material as the orchard or the black tubing, because it's meant to last for 10 or 15 years. But anyways, the black tubing and the lay flat, just wanted to clarify that. Okay, so Isaac, while I was blabbering, Isaac got this whole row connection. We got that section down, that section with the valve, and now we got to go run one more section that way and connect that there, put another valve in the T. We ran out of the regular 2-inch barbed fitting T's, so I just just 1.5-inch PVC. 1.5-inch PVC fits is a little smaller in diameter than the lay flat. We just put on there and clamp it real hard, or it's
just double hose clamp it.
Double hose clamp it, and it works. It's not perfect. It still drips and leaks a little bit, but this is better than having nothing and having to run back to town and buying some more stuff. So in our area, it's unfortunate because there's not many produce farmers, so that you can't find any parts or accessories for drip irrigation or drip tape or anything like that. Our closest supplier is up in Versailles, Missouri. It's about 2 hours away. But the good thing is, on this 2-inch bar fittings like Menards or Lowe's, they have, you know, for sub pumps and all kinds of different pumping systems, they have a 2-inch and the 1.5 inch, like tees and couplers. And so whenever we run short on that, we just go there. But for like drip tape and couplers and emitters and stuff, we got to drive 2 hours, which is kind of unfortunate. But that's why we got to plan ahead and just have a stockpile of everything else, so that whenever we do need it, we have it and we are ready to roll. Hit you on the center of this or no?
You want to? Oh, we can.
Go in the middle. So that's one.
Yeah, 1, 2.
Hope we have enough. Okay, so we got 3 sections in a couple rows, so I'll be 25 rows. So now we're just gonna cut it right here.
Right here?
Cut it close though, like right here.
So we'll hit the tractor?
Yeah, when we pick. Do you have enough over there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, perfect. There might be water on there.
Right here?
Yeah. You have an end cap?
Yeah, I do. Oh.
See, Isaac, next year we can just use this same valve system on this exact same rows when we grow watermelon, cantaloupes, whatever else we have to grow out here.
Everything we need.
Because we'll just use the same header line if we can match up the rows properly. We just got to leave the drip tape a little longer, and if it's a little crooked, it is perfect. So getting close to being done here. Just got to make another one of these here, and we should be good. So now when we want to irrigate the end section, the middle or the back, we just come out here, just adjust these valves how we want them. These 2 inches are a lot better than these little individual rows. So those are all turned off. We're going to run fertilizer, 4 bags of calcium on that section there. And once that's done, we're going to run fertilizer on all 4 sections here. Alrighty folks, so all the irrigation is up and running. We got our manifold all ready to go, and everything is fine-tuned now. We got it down to running perfectly fine. So we are excited. Isaac just dropped the entire bag of fertilizer in there. So we've been just running about 1 or 2 bags of calcium nitrate per section. I think there's 11 sections out here, and the plants are looking really good. It's been really dry out here in Missouri, southwest Missouri, but overall these plants have been doing good. So we got nice green foliage on the plants, and now we just got a set of fruit. It is the first week of August, so we're running a little behind schedule, but we got plenty of time before we get in peak pumpkin harvesting season. So I think we will be all right. This year, since the ground was all timber here and thick woods, I'm not expecting too much production. You know, we're gonna pick quite a bit of stuff, but it's not gonna be our best yielding crop ever. So next year will be a whole different ball game. We're gonna come in here and be able to get in earlier, plant the plants. We already have the well in. So the first year always seems to have so many hiccups. It took a while for the well guys to show up because they're so busy with their schedule. But we are just super excited that we are able to put a crop on these this year and harvest a bunch of pumpkins and winter squash and all kinds of good stuff. Alrighty, y'all, this is gonna be it for today's video. Just a quick little irrigation video and the well video. We've been facing some other unfortunate stuff here on the farm. The deer have been wreaking havoc on these pumpkins. I actually have a conservation agent coming out later this week. He's gonna come look at them. But overall, if we can keep the plants healthy and the pumpkins on there, should be all right. So this is gonna be it for today's video. If you guys have any other questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. If you guys have any other new video ideas or other parts of the farm that you guys want me to show, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below. But this is gonna be it for today. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe and always hit that notification icon so you guys can be notified whenever I do upload a video. I want to say thanks for watching up to this point. Y'all have a good day, and we will see you next time.